Hey guys, welcome to the Centre Bounce. Mate, I don't even care about Supercoach this week. No, that's a lie, but how good does a win feel? I tell you what, that last 2 to 3 minutes left, I'm like, ah. And Toby Pink, I know I've talked a lot of shit about you, but mate, you stood up well for us today. Tristan Cherry, as you guys saw from the thumbnail, went massive. He was the trade-in big player that I brought in this week. And hey, how can you say no to 150? If he did what a Max Gorn did and only scored a 120, yeah, I think I might be a little bit more restrictive and a little bit more angry on not bringing in someone else. But we're very, very happy. Nice to have number one ruck and number two ruck in the competition. Captaincies this round have definitely kept us in the fight, but there has been a bit of a miss on some of the players. We'll talk about the team, my kind of thoughts, and mate, where's the cash gen? That was the theme for last week. The cash gen is non-existent. I've got all these rookies. Brad Scott, what are you doing with your life, mate? Oh, it's going to be a fun episode. This week we scored 23-46. Now, it was not great. It was not. I think we were around par, though, which was nice. Total score 22,389. So I think just calculating before, we have dropped quite far. We are about 700 points away from rank one, which really sucks. There's some teams this week that scored 26, some teams this week that scored 25 plus, and I would have loved for us to be there. Unfortunately not. We have stayed around the fight, though, up to rank 509. So inside the top 1K, which is still nice. Looking to make some massive upgrades this week if we can. Just have to wait and see what's happening. Quickly check out Team of the Week. And yeah, so Zorko, Sinclair, which is a massive one we don't have. Bailey Dale, massive as well. In that back line, would have loved to have them. Neil Libba is one who, potentially should have been a nice trade-in. Doggies went massive. Essendon sucked. I'm sorry, Joe, but Essendon this week were not good. And Brad Scott, you stink. That's all I'm going to say. You stink. Could have had a nice player inside this week actually making some decent money. But no, that's not going to happen. Callahan, unfortunately, injured. For those people that do have him, potentially could be out for a while. Cherry VC, similar to me. Rowan Marshall, probably his big turning point as well. Might have had a Max Gorn, got the Rowan Marshall in at just over 500K. 179 is bonkers. Anyone versus Matt Flynn is going to go big, so something to watch there. Bailey Smith, obviously, that everyone's got. And, basically the same forward line as myself, just having Chad Warner over Daniel. Big miss on him. Kind of the theme of this year, just missing out on a lot of players and scrounging to make cash gen, which kind of sucks. If we have a look at how my team went, so Whitfield backline was okay. Would have liked a higher score, but it happened. Zorko 99. He was one that I was really worried about. I think at 3/4 time, or at least heading into the half, he was on 65 plus and just stopped. So it's not great for him, not great for us. Hopefully at the MCG this week, it will be a bit better though. I think I tipped Brisbane. They just almost lost to North Melbourne, but yeah, Melbourne did very well there. Clark 109, happy with that. He was on 30 odd points at some time through 3/4 time. I'm like, mate, it's going to be another one of those, but came back, went massive. Similar to Brayshaw, was on 4 points at quarter time, I think. Just didn't touch the ball, was getting tagged, and then, hey, worked out okay. Zachary 75, not great there. Basically lost all his kickouts for the first half of the game, and then got stuck key defendering, which is not what we want from him. We need the interceptions. He's very, very good when he intercepts. Didn't work out. Riley Bice is the trade out for this week. Really sucks. Sard 47 is one I want to yell at. Brad Scott, mate, there's a reason why North Melbourne got rid of you, and there's a reason why Essendon might be looking to do the same as well. That game against the Doggies was atrocious. And Sard's performance, mate, we're lucky that he got scaled up like 9 points because he was on something like 38. Got subbed out at halftime. Not even halftime. He was not their worst player on field, not even close, and scored still okay. So, bit rough. Carroll there, 31. Not great, but hopefully should hold his spot. Onto the midfield, as I said, Brayshaw was 4 points at quarter time, ended up with the 99. They played GWS. The Bedford tag was between him and Sarong. Just kept going between him, which meant that he did get some of this junk time ball in the third quarter. Heading into the fourth, Zach Merritt. Probably my most frustrating own in Supercoach is Zach Merritt. And last week, I think, wasn't great. The game against North Melbourne was nice, but check out that break even. Everyone's going to be able to afford him at 500K. It's not been good. Where's the game against North? Oh, sorry. Let me see. Season stats. We've had him since this. So the 172 was great against North Melbourne. And then 2 crappy scores. Now, we know Zach Merritt should be a top 10. But similar to a Dawson, it just gives me headaches, man. Like, some of these scores, okay, should be fine up until GWS again. But him plus an Essendon just need to pull their finger out. It cost me quite a few rankings today. For similar points, could have a Liberatore or someone else. Obviously, can't go back and change it. But, yeah, it is rough. It is a really rough own. Got stuck playing forward for parts of the game too. Versus the Doggies, I don't know if they were just trying to get him involved or what happened. Gave away a couple of crucial points early, didn't really touch it much. And then, 20-minute stretch where he got some points in Supercoach and just fell off. Maybe they had him try and kick goals or whatever, but the Doggies' defense is half decent. So it's not versus a North Melbourne where there's an exploitative part of the team to kind of exploit, I guess. But yeah, rough. Nick Dacos, similar position, 95. Couple of low 100 scores. He's going to be fine in the second half of the season, but just frustrating. Similar to a Harry Sheasel as well. Got the 90-odd. Let's have a quick look. He got the 90-odd fantasy points, which would have been great for us in Supercoach. But, yeah, it's not good for us. So he had the 102, 77 Supercoach. Didn't really do much on the free kick part. 45 disposal efficiency, which is dog shit. I'm sorry, Harry Sheasel, but that is dog shit. Almost as bad as Tristan Cherry. Scored a 150 off 47% disposal efficiency. Now, if that's not worth a medal, I'll tell you what. I don't know what is. Oop. It is rough. It is a rough own. Should be fine, though. So, just a big wait and see. Josh Dunkley, 110. I know last week he went big. Lockie Neal didn't. This week they were about even. Josh Dunkley, 110 is probably what we're going to get out of him. Jordan Dawson, 132. Nice to have the bounce back. And talking about bounce backs is Adam Chera. So did very, very well there. Yeah, it's a rough one, but I'm glad we've got him in the side. Xavier Lindsay actually had him on field. Could have put a Gross, obviously. 42 is not great. Nice to see Lindsay doing something. I actually stopped watching halfway through this game, and Ashcroft and Lindsay were on like 20. So nice to have okay scores from both of them. Midfield bench is kind of dead again. Hustwaite obviously got dropped. And then Tom Gross, 42. So break-even's okay. Projector's okay. But I don't know if he plays this week. We'll see. Keeps getting made the sub. He shouldn't be made the sub. Put someone else the sub. Stupid coach. I mean, you won this week. So, okay, sucks to be a St Kilda supporter. But, yeah, don't make him the sub anymore, please. Brought in Cherry on debut. Very, very nice. We had the Boyd Gorn loop. I think the high ownership for these is pretty high, but I think some people don't have both. And maybe that's where we get a bit of the advantage from in kind of the coming weeks and whatnot. There is a bit of talk, though. I think his break-even is insanely high. Some people will look to offload him to a Rowan Marshall. If I had a boost, potentially Rowan Marshall to Gorn, upgrade someone else to like a Bontempelli. Okay, let's pretend, right? Let's pretend, hypothetically. I've got 70K in the bank. I'm not going to do this trade, but 70K in the bank. Cool, we go. Rowan Marshall, there we go. 270K. What can we do with this? Levi Ashcroft or a Flynn. Let's go Levi Ashcroft. No, I can't because we need the DPP. Let's go. Who can we afford? That's anybody. Liberatore, no. Marcus the Bontempelli. So, look, I can see a world where people will do that, and they will happily do that because it gets them the Bont. They've still got 2 Primos in here, and hey, potentially that's an option for myself this week if I didn't have so many bloody rookies on the field. But yeah, I can see a world where people will do something like that. Gorn is going to tank in cash, about to lose 100K. He's versing his old mate Grundy, and if Roma didn't have such a bad lining up, cool. Yeah, can definitely see a world where people will do something similar. Grab Bont before his buy. Heck, this basically finishes off my midfield. 1, 2, 3 trades left, and then we're done. So, not for me this week, but I can see why some people will do something like that. Heading on. So, Dawn, Cherry, cool. Harry Boyd was almost delayed in. Darcy Fort came in, and a lot of people went Max Gorn captain, which obviously worked out for us. But yeah, very, very almost a late in. Could have been an interesting one. Bailey Smith, mate, depending on who he plays, like Thursday nights, there's something to be said about Thursday night games. Depending on the matchups, if I wasn't to just go Gorn and Grundy every week, I could see a world where Bailey Smith gets selected. If you look at his season stats, we got him in round 3, I think. So we've got all of this. But, mate, last 2 weeks, you'd have been laughing. He's bonkers. He's doing very well. And, yeah, all praises to him, I guess. Petrarca 94, probably around where he's priced. Rankin 90, okay. Jack McRae 77. Now, there is a little bit of talks about Jack McRae potentially having some back issues, so we'll see what happens with that. We may need to throw a Cooper Simpson or someone to replace a Connor Stone, who we'll talk about soon, into that position just for coverage. Caleb Daniel 97. Glad we held him and Chera, because I know 100% I was looking at trading one or both of them. But glad we've got them. Very, very happy there. Ashcroft 68, slowly looking to get dropped at some point. He is basically at his break even. So if I didn't have Riley Bice to drop off, I could see a world where Ashcroft goes. I just don't have the DPP swing really to put someone worth merit in here. Well, I've got merit, but no DPP. Funnily enough, he was in track for 4 DPP. So there's a bit of a joke for you guys. I just don't have the swing. I can trade out a defender and put Sheasel in there. No issues, but I don't have something for the Ashcroft. And then Cooper Simpson, who we brought in this week, as well as the downgrade option with Cherry. Very happy there with the 71. I believe he should hold the spot, so he might be trade-in of the season for us right now. 2 weeks ago, I should have gone Sandy Brock instead of Sard. Could have grabbed Sard last week. And then Simpson this week. Had 3 more upgrades in the team. Probably would have been the process to go. Looks like Sandy Brock may hold his position. And I did make that prediction on Twitter today. Or this weekend. So something there to kind of watch out for. Very glad we kept Matt Flynn. So last week, the theme was probably holding players. Held Chera, held Daniel, held Flynn. Upgraded a spot on the field. Or at least didn't have a donut with a Carlton player. So very, very happy there. Looking like the trades this week. We saw from last week that I just wanted to try and bank some money. The biggest problem with myself, and it's not my team, maybe spending the boosts early hasn't helped, but it was just the dead bench. And there's more dead bench to come. Gross probably could get dropped. Carroll could get dropped. Sard could get dropped. I'm stuffed. If that's the case, we're in a bit of trouble at the moment. Trades would have to change then. Maybe we're forced to hold a bias. We do the Cherry Roma train, grab Bontempelli in. That means I can move Sheasel up. I can do some funky stuff then. If these both rookies get dropped, I might be bringing in Rowan Marshall this week. So we'll see what happens. But right now, the idea for my trades, heck, check out that projected, bro. Max Gorn is projected 180. Patton to the back line. He would be getting traded over Stone. I think Stone has more of a chance to come back. Though Joe Fonte has been doing very well and looks to be playing and locked into that halfback position, which is great for him. Sucks if you don't own him in Supercoach, but he is on a 70. I think he's about 200 and something K. Let's have a quick sneaky look in Supercoach land. Sorry, my computer's running a bit hot, which isn't great. So if we go have a look at a Joe Fonte in the back line, 196K should have a lowish break even. Cool. Yeah, so him or a Sandy Brock 2 weeks ago would have been fantastic. We missed out on it. It happens. Looking to trade out Connor Stone. Patton, you stink. I don't even want to look at the VFL stats. I'm just going to have to loop Carroll and Patton for a little while. It is best 18 over the next couple of weeks, which is the godsend. It is the saving grace for myself, purely for the fact that, hey, I can now actually get some half-decent players in and not have to worry about fielding 23. I just need to field 18 plus. And hopefully the players I do have carry me home. Riley Bice out is going to be my other trade. 623K. There's not a lot of good players I can afford break-evens wise. Let's have a bit of a look. Break-evens wise, Oscar McDonald won't come in. Doesn't really work out for us. Jed Bew's not going to touch it. Especially, look, if he had dropped another 70, there could have been a time when I did that. And then even as well, pretend Sheasel goes to the back line. Someone like a Sheldrick. I could see a world where, hey, we may be forced to bring someone like him into the side. If the job security was there, I could see a world where that happens. It doesn't leave me with much cash to actually upgrade, though, which is kind of the whole point of doing the trades that I'm going to do. So that's a no from myself. One that I really like, if Will Lorenz comes back, okay, but I don't think he will. One that I really like is Thomas Sims. I think he's going to play the whole year from here on out, and that's all we really need. If he gets to 250K, bloody fantastic. Had a first really good half of the game versus North Melbourne as well. I think he was on 38 coming into half time, which is it's great. I mean, he kicked the first goal and whatnot. So if he can do something else like that, they play they play Essendon this week. There is potential that he goes okay. I could go an Archer Day Wicks as well. The negative break even is really nice, but he does have the high negative break even. Should make us an okay amount of money. If there's a world where I have to bring a ruckman in or something like that, it does something for us too. So yeah, not so bad there. And then it comes down to, hey, who can I really afford? Who do I want to bring in? Who do I want to play? It's probably the big thing. We don't care about break evens. I don't know how to get rid of that. It's really frustrating. Let's pretend. Let's go again. So Stone out. Someone tells me how to get rid of these Supercoach gold filters, just from like the entirety. Big J will be very happy. So Sheasel pretending going to the back line, which means I only really have Sard left to upgrade. I can do Sard and Carroll. Hopefully they're good for a 60 every week. We'll see. Forward line, get some big Sims in. And then it really comes down to a couple of players. We do have Sheasel who can go back here, and we just pretend, hey, look, we're going to bring in a midfielder. Okay, we can do that if we want to. I think I can easily get to, or hopefully at least get to 22 okay primos, but I don't think I'll be able to get 23. I won't be one of these teams that has 23, 24, 25, unfortunately. I just don't have the cash gen. There's guys that are higher rankings than me that have 800, 900K more dollars. And I just can't do that. I'm scraping the barrel with, hey, I can downgrade a Hustweight to a 99K rookie to get 70K. Like, that's kind of the objective that I have at the moment. And yeah, that's the position that we're in. We could do some more stuff. Let's say if we have, I really like Sims, but let's say if we go Archer Day Wicks instead, pull 524K, potentially. I don't think he'll keep his spot. But who can we afford is probably the biggest thing. So in the back line, that does open up a couple of other opportunities. I'm just outside of getting a Sinclair. I could be forced to go Wicks if I could get a Sinclair in. I do think Sims is better. If I look in the midfield, there's really not a whole lot to afford either. Max Holmes can obviously play on both. So let's just go see. Yeah, we've got just over 500K. Sorry for the confusion, everybody. It is quite late, and I'm just kind of blurring stuff out, but it's good to get a bit of the thought process of what we want to do. So, Sims out. Who can we afford? 99K or 509K on any position. Now, if there's someone here that you guys want. Big J, I'm really looking at this player. Let me know, because that's something to really consider at the moment. There's a lot of players who are very, very good who are down in these positions that might have just had, like a Bontempelli come back from injuries, whatnot, that I'm missing out on. So just let me know. Max Holmes potentially could come in, has a pretty decent run right now. So he might be a trade-in. Means that I will just be looping Sard here with a few of these other players on the bench. Could be an option due to the Sheasel DPP, potentially. If I grab a midfielder, obviously Holmes can go there too. Was considering a Josh Dacos. They are playing North this week. Could be a sneaky selection. I know George has him in his team, and he's been having an average, 3-round average of 106. So that could be an option there. They really do like the ball in his hands. Horn Francis, barring the injury, could have been a selection as well. Matt Rowell could have been a selection as well. Is really cheap for what you get from him. So could work out okay. I could chuck in a Matt Rowell here and then grab someone else and, hey, have 2 rookies left next week. We'll see. Ryan Marrick is potentially one that I'm looking at. And I think Supercoach-wise this season, I've been somewhat blessed with not having a lot of cash gen, but then the Supercoach gods saying, hey, Jeremy, we won't come in. Hey, Big J. You guys know what I mean. Hey, Big J. Hey, Ryan Marrick, we'll make him have a really poor game this week, so he's not too expensive for you to bring in. We knew that you were going to do some other trades. You probably should have got him in. Okay. Similar to a Chera and a Daniel rewarding me for those kind of selections, it is similar to that kind of thing. So hypothetically, if it is a Ryan Marrick, we don't really have a lot of other people. I could go a Shai Bolton and go Super Pod and then see what happens there. But if it is Ryan Marrick in the team, boy, it is interesting. So we have 1 rookie there, 1 rookie here, 1 rookie left in the back line. That potentially could be the trade-ins for this week. That's what I'm thinking. If not, we can grab someone else. If not, we can grab someone else. If I want to grab a Shai Bolton, if I have to, I can bring him in, bank 70K. Hey, whoever it is, plus Shai Bolton could end up being an okay player, but I just need some cash in, man. Like Cooper Simpson could be the way. I said that about Sard. It could have been the way as well, but it did not work out. Can I do, just hypothetically, can I do a Sims and Marrick out? Let's undo the trades. Maybe this is a sneaky thing that we're looking at. If I want to be really tricky, really, really tricky, let's go same 2 people out, Stone and Vice out, plus the money I've got. Sheasel to the back line, Patton to the back line, obviously looping the 2. Can I go big boy and another big boy? Okay. Potentially we could do something like this. It could be an option. So we'll wait and see for team sheets and whatnot, if that's something that I want to do. Okay. If I don't want to do anything of that sort, it could be even something like this. And like, I'm not going to trade Max Gorn, but in a hypothetical world, okay. Max Gorn plus Lindsay gets me. What do I get for Max Gorn and a Lindsay? Though Lindsay's got a bit of money left. So let's not even do Lindsay. Let's go. Okay. What can I do? If I do Max Gorn and Lindsay, oh, I cannot do it. What did I do before? Maybe I did some wicked trades before. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Vice, I think Flynn has a little bit less cash on him. Who can I get in? I won't get Butters. Bontempelli would have been the one. Probably would have been the one. But we're just playing around with trades. I'm just wasting time. Guys, let me know down in the comments, what are you doing this week? How did you score? Are you beating me in the rankings? Hey, it has been a pretty exciting season. Last week was a bit of a downer. This week is a bit different. Hopefully everything's going okay. Here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so you guys don't have to. Review crew on Mondays at 7. Members live stream on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock. And then the drive home with Joe on Thursdays at 5:30. If there is a Friday stream as well, I'll let everyone know. Have a good one. Have a lot of fun. Mate, half our teams are almost finished. It's pretty exciting. Catch you in the next one.